This was such a strength for the President of the United States. The net approval rating on Trump's administration program to deport immigrants who are in the country illegally. It was plus 18 points at the beginning of his presidency, net approval rating. That is very, very positive. It was one of the most popular things in the Trump administration agenda. But now you come over to this side of the screen, look at that. That's over a 25-point switcheroo in the negative direction. Now the program is way, way, way underwater at minus 8 points. Okay, the Trump administration is prioritizing deporting dangerous criminals or others. You go back to June, the majority of Americans, 53%, said the Trump administration was prioritizing deporting dangerous criminals compared to just 47% who said others. Come to this side. What do we have now? A complete switcheroo. Now what you see is the majority of the American people believe that the Trump administration is not prioritizing deporting dangerous criminals. In fact, they're prioritizing deporting others at 56%.
ICE even arrested some Native Americans. They detained Native Americans who, I don't know if they need to be informed about this. They have more of a right to be here than anyone else. And when it comes to local law enforcement and how the DOJ is handling some of the allegations against these agents and their, harassment and profiling of literal law enforcement deputies, it doesn't seem like they care too much at all about what's going on. In fact, they want to punish local law enforcement. So today, in fact, the Justice Department sent subpoenas to at least 5 Democratic officials in Minnesota. That included Governor Tim Walz, unsurprisingly, Mayor Jacob Fry of Minneapolis, and Mayor Coley Herr of St. Paul. Okay, so the subpoenas are related to policies on immigration enforcement efforts in the state. And their big gripe is that, the police are standing in our way when there's really no indication of that whatsoever. That's the excuse they usually use. And I get it. By the way, I get that there are very particular provisions in some sanctuary city and state laws that, if you ask me, don't make sense. The American people overwhelmingly want to deport individuals who are here illegally who have been convicted of crimes. So if you have the federal government asking municipalities and cities, hey, here is a retainer for this individual after they serve their sentence because we want to deport them. How about in that one very narrow instance, you work with them so they can't have something to hang their hat on as they're terrorizing ordinary people in communities like Minneapolis, St. Paul. But honestly, at this point, that's my only issue with these sanctuary city laws. When they do provide cover and refuse to comply in specific instances of someone who's been convicted, who is a criminal and should be deported. But other than that, the Trump administration has absolutely no justification for what we are seeing on our streets right now. The chaos and the intimidation tactics are the point. And I'm sure Trump is looking at the polling. He wants nothing more than constant validation and ass kissing. It is pathetic. I've never seen a grown man be this obsessed with himself, but here we are. And so I'm sure he's seen some of this polling, and wouldn't you know it, he's softening his message a little bit when it comes to, the 37-year-old mom who was shot in the face by an ICE agent in Minnesota, Renee Good. Now, if you can remember, previously, Trump said of Renee Good, immediately after she was shot to death by an ICE agent, quote, "She behaved horribly, and then she ran him over. She didn't try to run him over, she ran him over." Now, we've all seen the videos featuring Renee Good getting shot to death by an ICE agent, and in no way did she run an ICE agent over, in no way. And maybe he got some backlash for being a disgusting creep and defaming an American citizen based on nothing. Based on, he hadn't even watched the video yet, by the way. He saw the video for the first time during an interview. But now he's changed his tune a little bit. But of course, there's gotta be a narcissistic reason why. So see if you can catch it. Let's watch.
They're gonna make mistakes sometimes. ICE is gonna be too rough with somebody, or they're dealing with rough people. They're gonna make a mistake. Sometimes it can happen. We feel terribly. I felt horribly when I was told that the young woman who was had the tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a horrible thing. Everybody would say, ICE would say the same thing. But when I learned her parents and her father in particular I hope he still is, but I don't know, was a tremendous Trump fan. He was all for Trump, loved Trump. And, it's terrible. I was told that by a lot of people. They said, oh, he loves you. He was I hope he still feels that way. I don't know. It's a hard situation. But her father was a tremendous, and parents were tremendous Trump fans. It's so sad. It just happens. It's terrible.
It just happens? It's sad because her parents are Trump supporters? That's why it's sad? You don't think it's sad that because of your policies and your hiring practices when it comes to ICE, you have created chaotic situations on American streets that have led to people getting killed? How many people who have been detained by ICE during your second term have died while in ICE custody? So far this year is set to break a new record. And we already know about how many literal American citizens have been detained by ICE for being suspected of being undocumented. Even though they say over and over again, I'm an American citizen, I'm an American citizen. Who the hell walks around with immigration papers? Who the hell walks around with their birth certificate? I guess if you have a little bit of a tan, tint in your skin, you better walk around with your birth certificate. You better walk around with your papers. We live in a free society, that's what this is? No, this isn't a free society. Hasn't been in a long, long time. I mean, you couple this with people getting confronted by cops at their residences because they posted something critical of Israel. Is that what happens in a free and open society? Is that what happens in a democracy? The Democrats who were fear-mongering about the loss of democracy the most, of course, only during the election, suddenly super quiet, super quiet. Congress is useless, okay? These elected lawmakers, these political leaders are useless, too busy fundraising, not enough time to actually do a damn thing to protect the American people from what the federal government is currently up to, from what the White House is currently up to, hiring a bunch of criminals who don't respect our rule of law, don't respect our democratic process and the outcome of our general election. Those are the people who are getting hired for ICE right now. And rather than having appropriate training, which I can't believe was only 6 months, but it was, they're getting 47 days. Congratulations, America. This is what tyranny looks like. I hope you enjoy the armed federal agents in your towns, right-wing voters. But you probably won't, that's the thing, because we're so divided and political actions are motivated by partisanship. So it's only the blue cities and the blue states that are dealing with this. But I just want to ask you, if you happen to be a conservative or you happen to vote for Republicans, how would you feel if there were militarized federal agents roaming your streets and asking you for your papers? And do you want to live in a country like that? Because I don't.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.